Morning, Your Honor. We're here in case 26CR560, State of Ohio versus Seth S. Merrill. Present in court is a defendant who's accompanied by his attorney, Mr. James Matthews. We were previously here on June 17th, 2026. At that time, the defendant withdrew his previously entered plea of not guilty and entered a plea of guilty to count 1, domestic violence, a felony of the 3rd degree. This matter was referred to the Lake County Adult Probation Department for a pre-sentence investigation report, as well as for a victim impact statement and a drug and alcohol evaluation. Those reports have been completed, and the state has had an opportunity to review those reports. The state is ready to proceed with sentencing. The state would move to dismiss the remaining counts of the indictment, and there are 106 days of jail time credit. Thank you.
Mr. Matthews.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are asking for community control excuse me, for Mr. Merrill in this case. We do understand this is a felony of the 3rd degree domestic violence, and that does carry a presumption in favor of prison. However, we do believe that that presumption can be overcome in this case. I do not believe there's anything about the facts of this case that would mean placing him on community control sanctions would demean the seriousness of the offense. Mr. Merrill had a very chaotic and unsupervised upbringing. He left school in the 7th grade, has a history of drug and alcohol abuse throughout not only his childhood, but his adult life as well. He is definitely in need of help and guidance, and he has been interviewed and accepted at the program in NeoCap. He should very likely, according to the recommendation in the drug and alcohol evaluation, follow that up with a minimum of 6 months in sober living. But most importantly, throughout the evaluations, he indicated a strong desire to get help and to try to change the path that he's been on for really pretty much his entire life. And he is hoping that despite his record, which we obviously acknowledge does have an impact on things. It's, he has multiple probation violations, he has prior prison, but he's never had the opportunity to get the kind of help that can be given to him through the programs I outlined earlier and that were recommended in the drug and alcohol evaluation. So he is hoping the court will give him that opportunity, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Merrill, what do you want to tell me?
Sir, if I may stand. I just want to say that I messed up when I should have had a little more control of myself. I deeply apologize.
Isn't this kind of a pattern for you?
It may look that way, sir, but I haven't been in trouble in 5 years. I've been doing good.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yes, sir.
You went to prison August of 22, were released in March of 24 on a felony battery, felony 3, placed on parole, and disappeared August 2nd of 24. What do you mean you haven't been in trouble in 5 years?
When I read the paperwork, whenever I got my indictment, it said they brought up that in my paperwork it said I got released in 22 and 23. It didn't say anything about 24, sir, so I apologize.
All right. So, well, tell me what happened with this offense.
It was a normal day. It started off well. We were getting along. I cooked. Long story short, I cooked dinner. Everything was fine. She she started arguing with me. I didn't understand why, and then I asked her to use her phone so I can. I use marijuana to go to sleep. I have insomnia and night terrors. I use marijuana to go to sleep. I asked if I can call my friend to get some marijuana, and she said yes. I used her phone. I found messages where she was cheating on me. When I told her so, after I packed her things and gave her the bag, she became belligerent and angry, and I wasn't trying to listen to anything she had to say, so I walked to the couch. I sat down. She said, "Why don't you want to hear anything I have to say?" I said, "Because I don't want to. I don't want to use that language in the courtroom." But I said,
Well, tell me what happened. I don't.
She struck me with her phone, and she was on top of me, and I pushed her off of me. And when I pushed her, my hand hit her lip, and
So that's the domestic violence?
I don't know, sir.
Well, you pled guilty, right?
Yes, sir.
Who was she to you?
She was my fiance at the time.
How long have you known her?
About a year and a half.
Why did you leave Florida?
I left Florida because I wanted a new start.
Okay, you were on parole, though.
I had already violated. They told me they wanted me to come in, and it was just all I have to do is 60 days in Florida. She said, it's up to you if you want to come in. I'm not worried about it, is what my parole officer told me, and that's the truth. And I said, well, I got things I got to take care of. And she said, that's your choice, that's your decision. You're a grown man. I said, yes, ma'am. And then after that phone call hung up, I got a Greyhound ticket up to Elyria from Cleveland. I got dropped off at the Cleveland station. I got picked up in Elyria.
Why'd you come here?
I wanted to get away from Elyria because I was...
No, I mean, why'd you come to Ohio?
I just wanted to get away from Florida. Old habits and old friends. I just wanted a fresh start, sir.
Okay. Well, but the habits haven't changed, have they? What kind of drugs are you using?
Methamphetamines.
You were doing the same thing in Florida, right?
I don't understand, sir.
Well, you said you wanted to get away from things, to change things, but you're doing the same thing here you did in Florida, right?
I fell back into old habits, which is why I left Elyria. I came out to Madison.
Who lives on Clyde Road in Madison?
That was the house I was renting.
Renting it from who?
Alex Carsell.
Where were you working?
I was doing self-work. I do painting and maintenance.
So you rented this house from who?
Alex Carsell.
And how much were you paying a month?
I was paying $250 a month, and I was putting food in the house.
Who else lived there?
His girlfriend and her young son. I think he's about 3 years old.
Was everybody at that place using drugs?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Was everybody at that place using drugs? I mean,
guess so.
we know it's a drug house. Okay?
I guess so, yes,
So
sir.
don't.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When I ask you a question, I'm asking for a reason.
Yes, sir.
It's because I want an honest answer. Okay.
Yes, sir. I apologize.
All right. So, and your intention is to go back to live at that place, right?
They asked for an address. It's the only one I have. But if that was failed to succeed, I was going to go to Project Hope, which I prefer.
Who lives on Willow Drive in Painesville?
That was a female I was talking to since I've been incarcerated. And
Who?
Cheyenne Goochner.
How do you know her?
I met her through one of my friends,
Which friend?
Mariah Mayo.
So you've never met this person before?
In person?
Right.
No, but she's came to visit me. We've been talking for the last 3 months. But we stopped talking because I think her uncle works at the jail and he didn't approve of it. So she chose to respect his wishes, which I respect as well.
So what am I supposed to do with you? You've been committing violent crimes in Florida, and you come here and here you go again. What am I supposed to do with you?
Sir, I just want an opportunity to prove myself that I'm actually willing to make that change, and I have a change of mind and heart as well. I just asking for an opportunity, sir. I understand I did something wrong.
You had a lot of opportunities in Florida, right? You were on probation in Florida.
Not really. Florida's
No?
judicial system is very messed up.
Well, I guess it depends on your perspective, right?
Yes, sir. From my end of it, it didn't seem like I had very many opportunities.
In Duval County,
Yes, sir.
in 18 for a battery, you were put on probation for 6 months. It was October 20th of 18.
Yes, sir, I was very
And
young.
November 19th, there's a probation violation.
Yes, sir, I was very young.
Okay, well. You managed to elude them until June of 19. You were on probation in 21 in Duval County, and you violated. And they sent you to prison. So why is probation suddenly going to work now?
Because I feel what I've seen and heard from my lawyer and from what I did a little research myself with the Lifeline program and everything I found about NeoCap, that there's a lot of more opportunities for me to be successful due to the programs that they offer with probation and also rehabilitation on the mind as well as physical. And I just want an opportunity to prove myself and take advantage of this situation so I can get my life together. Because I'm still young. I still have an opportunity.
What does getting your life together look like?
I've never had my life together to begin with, so getting my life together would be a job, a car, a house that's mine. You know, doing things that are, I don't want to use the wrong words, so I'm not very literate. Doing things that are good.
Productive?
Productive, yes, sir.
Okay.
I just want an opportunity to prove myself. That's all I'm asking for, sir. I feel like if you gave me an opportunity, you wouldn't be let down. I really want to do this. I really want to prove not only to you, but to myself as well.
Now, how do I reconcile the fact that you tell me this and that you just disappeared from Florida because you didn't want to show up?
It wasn't because I didn't want to show up. They violated me because I wasn't on time. I was 5 minutes late, and then she called me after I left the visitation, not the check-in, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to violate you because you were 5 minutes late." I was like,
I don't think I believe that.
Sir, I'm being honest. She said, I've never had a dirty urine. I was never late before, and she violated me because I was 5 minutes late because I just got off of work. And I was working for a lawn care service when I was in Florida. And because of that, I was angry, and I made a dumb decision by not going back in. And I came out. I mean, coming out here wasn't a dumb decision to me because I got away from certain extremities in Florida.
Got away from what?
Certain extremities. Like people that I don't care to associate with anymore.
But you're associating now with the same crowd.
I fell victim to it for a short period, yes, sir. And me being incarcerated and getting away from it has opened my eyes to me getting back on track.
You've had some problems over here in the jail. What's that all about?
Somebody was disrespectful to me, and I told them about themselves. And after I walked away, he tried to run up behind me, and I turned around and I kicked him in the face because I felt threatened, and I felt like I had to defend myself. Because he was running up behind me as I was going up the stairs.
Who was that?
Somebody that went home. I forget his name. He already went home months ago, or a month ago, something like that. I just felt like I had to defend myself. He ran up behind me in an aggressive manner. And me being incarcerated in Florida, there's a lot of violence in Florida in the prison systems.
There's a lot of violations over here in the jail. There's a line on the floor that you're not supposed to cross to go observe whatever's going on somewhere else, and you did it anyway. Why did you do that?
Sir, I've never got informed about that.
Okay.
Only thing I was in violation of that I know of personally was a ripped T-shirt and the incident I just brought up with me kicking the person in the face. Sir, I don't know.
What's with the ripped T-shirt?
The ripped T-shirt, it was a mistake.
What do you mean it was a mistake? Did you rip the T-shirt?
Yes, sir. I ripped.
So it wasn't a mistake. You ripped it.
It was.
It seems like a silly thing, right? Okay, but you do stupid shit when you know you're not supposed to do it, but you do it anyway. You used your teeth to rip the sleeve off a thermal and then threw the thermal off the mezzanine toward the trash can. I mean,
I was making a rag to clean my room,
okay.
so because they put me in a dirty room.
You don't like to, if you don't like to do what you consider silly stuff that should be nothing, then why don't you keep yourself out of position for people to tell you to do silly stuff you don't think you should do. You're the one that put yourself here.
Yes, sir, I agree.
Okay, you've been putting yourself in places like this for 15 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you don't seem to think it's a big deal because it was a dirty room and you wanted to clean it, right?
I understand.
It's a jail.
I
It's a
understand.
jail.
Yes, sir, I understand.
It's not a hotel.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is it exactly, regardless of what I sentence you to, what is it exactly that you're going to do with your life when your penalty for this incident is over?
Well, I actually planned on getting my GED in the process because they helped me with that as well. I heard at NeoCap if I was to get that. I would like to take college courses and get, because I was actually very smart in grade school and middle school. I would like to get back on track with my education and actually make something of myself and pursue either business or financial. I wanted to start my own business.
Okay. What's the tattoos on your face?
Actually, the one that looks like teardrops is actually a semicolon for suicide awareness for my friend that killed himself. The 6s on my face is for me, my sister, and my brother. I used to practice a dumb religion that I don't practice anymore.
666?
Yes, sir. I'm not a part of that anymore. I'm actually Christian. I read the Bible every night. I got a Bible open in my room right now. I got 2 of them in my room. I read it every night. I've changed my outlook on my religion. But it has a double meaning. It was for that and also for me and my siblings. And then I have a cross on my forehead, and then everybody's a sinner. And then I have a broken heart because I've been heartbroken before by a female.
Okay.
And
You
I
gonna
got
get
most
that?
of these when I was young.
Are you going to get that stuff off your face? I mean, you talk about you want to get your education, you want to you start your own business, be involved in finance, and
Yes,
somebody
sir.
comes to see you.
I understand where you're coming from. If that's what it takes for me to be productive, then yes, I will.
Well, you decide. I mean, I don't care if you do it or not.
I've
I'm just-
been thinking about it. Yes, I will get it off my face. I will. Actually, I've been already thinking about that.
Who is the girl that's the subject of this domestic violence? What's her name?
Angelique Pagan?
And you said you knew her for a year and a half?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you had any contact with her?
The day I got arrested, sir. I haven't talked to her not one time.
All right, anything else you want to tell me?
I deeply apologize for putting myself in this situation in front of you, and I'm just asking for an opportunity, sir. That's all.
Okay, Ms. Himmeline, have a seat.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would note that it appears the defendant has told the court a lot of things that he thinks this court wants to hear, but he's really full of excuses. He is blaming the victim for what happened and has shown no genuine remorse. While the injuries from this particular offense are not the most severe, there was a history of domestic violence in this relationship. The defendant does have a lengthy criminal history, which includes multiple offenses of violence, a significant number of probation violations, and as the court noted, he was on parole at the time of this offense. The defendant said he hasn't been in trouble in 5 years, but the parole violation was issued in Florida in August of 24. By January of 25, he was already committing crimes in Elyria. And then throughout August, November, December of 25, he was committing crimes in Ashtabula. He, as the court is aware, he has not followed the rules in the Lake County Jail and has continued his acts of violence. Additionally, the state would note that the defendant has had opportunities for treatment. Ashtabula ordered him to attend intensive outpatient treatment through Turning Point, and he left because, quote, the staff was disrespectful. So he left that program early, went to Impact Therapeutics, and then left that program.
How was the staff disrespectful?
They were inconsiderate of my psychological affairs. Whenever I was coming off of drugs, my mental state wasn't in the best of I don't know how to put it. My mental state wasn't all right, and when I asked for a little bit of space to let me, they were driving too hard, and I left Turning Point for a matter of 5 minutes and called my sponsor and was immediately inducted into Impact Therapeutics in Andover, Ohio. I made the right decision by calling my sponsor. Mind you, sir.
You keep placing yourself in a position where you want to dictate what the terms are, and you don't have the luxury of that because you keep putting yourself in these positions.
I understand, sir.
Go ahead, Ms. Himalayan.
Thank you, Your Honor. After leaving Turning Points, he went to Impact Therapeutics in Andover and also left that program early. So for all of those reasons, the state is requesting that the court impose a sentence of prison in this case. Thank you.
What mental health diagnoses do you have?
ADHD, OCD, chronic manic depressive, night terrors, insomnia. It's very extensive, sir.
Who diagnosed you with those?
Dr. Black at Impact Therapeutics, and also ADHD was through a
Why did you
pediatrician.
leave Impact then?
Sir?
Why did you leave Impact?
The female that I am in jail for currently, because she told me that if I didn't come get her, she was going to go back to the streets, and I deeply loved her at that point in time. I threw away my rehabilitation for
Does
her.
it say why he left Impact?
It just says that he left early for his girlfriend.
Okay. So you were left to take care of her.
She was at New Beginnings, sir, and she called me, said, I'm going to leave, I can't take it here no more, either you come get me or I'm going to go back to the streets and do whatever I was doing. And I didn't want that for her nor myself, so I went, got a ride to Ashtabula, got her from New Beginnings, and I found a room for rent online, the Alex Carsell in Madison, and I paid him. I started working, I paid him rent, and we moved in over there in Madison, and that's where this starts.
So you didn't address your problems, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
didn't address your mental health diagnoses that were just made, right? You didn't address your drug addiction. You decided to save a girl, and you can't even save yourself. So how's that work?
I was in love, sir. I was blinded by things that I don't have that are a part of me anymore. I'm fully focused on myself, and there's nothing stopping me. I have no female in my life. I have nothing to stop me from what I want to actually accomplish.
Is there a warrant out of Elyria, Dave?
There is. Yeah, for it was a possession of drug abuse instruments. It occurred in 2025.
Why didn't you show up in Elyria?
Because I was currently out of town in Brunswick and got stuck out there.
Elyria, how far is Elyria from Brunswick?
I believe like 45 minutes, sir, or an hour.
Nah.
I don't know. I'm not from here.
When you went back in town, why didn't you go back and clear that up? Because you didn't want to, right? You didn't want to go.
That's not true.
You didn't
sir.
want to go to jail. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the drug and alcohol evaluation. Listen to what you have said, what Mr. Matthews, Ms. Himmeline have said, considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. You know, and I'm going to find you've overcome the presumption of prison. I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. And I'm doing that not because I believe anything you tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay? But this is what I think is appropriate at this time.
Yes, sir.
Okay? But don't misunderstand that I necessarily believe that you want to do anything different, because you haven't demonstrated that yet, even
Yes,
while
sir.
you're over here. You're going to serve 180 days in jail with credit for 106. The last 30 you'll be in the jail treatment program. You're going to complete that and follow all recommendations. And you're going to go directly to the NeoCap program. You're going to complete that program. You're going to follow all those recommendations. Then you're going to do a minimum of a 6-month period in a sober living facility. Complete it and follow recommendations. You're going to get a mental health evaluation. And you're going to follow those recommendations. You're going to attend at least 4 AA or NA meetings a week. And get a sponsor. You're to have no illicit drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're to go to only one doctor and one dentist and one pharmacy for prescription medication. You're to take your medication only as it's prescribed. You're going to sign releases for probation. You're going to get your GED. You're going to get a valid driver's license. Have you ever had a driver's license?
No, sir.
You're going to obtain and maintain full employment. You're to have no contact with Pagan. You're going to clear all your outstanding warrants.
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir.
Yep.
With me being released from NeoCap and everything, how would I clear my warrants without being in violation of my probation?
I would figure out a way to do that with your probation officer. Okay?
Yes, sir.
What, you don't want to clear your warrants?
I do want to clear my warrants, sir, but I feel like if I was to go try to clear my warrants, they would incarcerate me, and that's in terms of a violation of my probation.
Well, why don't you let me figure out what a violation of your probation is?
Yes,
okay?
sir, I apologize.
Okay, because I'm telling you, you got to clear the warrants. And if in the process of clearing the warrants you show up at Elyria and they put you in jail, I'm not going to violate you for
Yes, sir.
doing what I told you to do. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you let me figure out what is or isn't. You follow the rules.
Yes, sir. It's just different in Florida. They would have.
We ain't in Florida, okay? You ain't in
That's what I
Florida.
understood. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you're going to pay the costs and supervision fees. Mr. Tompkins, any other terms?
Judge, may I make a suggestion? Instead of 6 months of sober living after NeoCap, would Lake House or Concord Pines be appropriate? Considering if he goes to sober living, he might actually have to pay rent. I'm assuming he won't have any money coming out of NeoCap.
Okay. So we'll do that. You're going to go, after you finish NeoCap, instead of sober living, you're going to enter into and complete the program at Lake House or Concord Pines and follow those recommendations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You understand all the terms?
Yes, sir. I do.
Any question about the terms?
No, sir.
If you violate the terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. If I find you violated, then you'll go to prison for 36 months. You understand that?
Yes, sir. I do.
And then you'll be on post-release control for up to 2 years after your release. with conditions. If you violate, then you can go back to prison for various lengths of time, okay? And so then I guess you could skip town and go somewhere else if you want, but now you have no excuses. You come here saying you never got the opportunity for treatment when you did, okay? But you've got the opportunity for all the treatment that you need to be productive, which is what you say you want.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So wherever you go next, whatever court you go to next, if you commit another crime, they're going to see what you had the opportunity to do, and they're not going to believe you either. So you figure out what you want to do. Remaining counts are dismissed. Anything else, Ms. Himalaya?
Just to clarify for the record, Your Honor, a violation would lead to prison of up to 60 months. This was a high-tier DV.
Oh, 60,
That's
okay,
yes.
yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Not 36, 60. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Matthews, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right.